my name is Faith, and this is a video on how to teach your dog basic skills and how to groom your dog. This is Asif. I'll be working with him today. The first skill I want to teach is how to properly greet a dog that's unfamiliar to you, because even if we don't have a dog, I feel like it's important to know how to interact with a new dog in general. So let's get started. When you're going to greet a new dog or a dog that's unfamiliar to you, the first thing is you want to ask permission from the owner if you can pet their dog. And when you're going up to the dog, don't approach it super fast, like go in all yay and panicky and stuff, because that'll scare the dog. What you want to do is walk up to it slowly and let the dog come to you almost. And you can let it sniff you before, but try to like not touch the top of its head or its mouth area. Okay, and here's an example of me doing it. So first, I'll ask, "Hi, may I pet your dog?"
Yes.
And then you will go up and let the dog smell you if it needs to, and then come here and pet it like this. You do not want to like go, "Hi, doggy." That's wrong. You just want to pet him and just be pretty subtle about it. Next, I'm going to be showing you some basic skills that your dog needs to know. First, you need to buy a clicker and some treats. Your dog will realize that when you click the clicker that he is getting a treat, and so that way he knows he's doing a good job and he's doing the command right. The first thing I'm going to be showing you guys is the down command, and then we'll move to the sit. So when you're teaching your dog to down, you're going to have him, you're going to tell him the command, Asif, down. And you're going to click, and you're going to give him a treat. When you're first starting out, your dog is not going to immediately go down to the down position. So what you're going to have to do is maybe grab the leash and pull his chest down, and then click and give him a treat. Here's how it's supposed to look when your dog knows it and can do it full speed at any time. Come. Asif, down. Down.
Good boy.
Asif, come. Asif, come. Down. Down. The next thing I'm going to show you is the sit command. When you're first teaching your dog how to sit, you will tell him sit and then pull up on the leash so that he knows to go up when you say that command. So I would say, Asif, sit, and then I'd click and give him a treat. And after multiple reps, he should get it down pretty quickly. So since you know the down command, you can teach him both these tricks at the same time. So you'd say Asif, down, and then you'd say Asif, sit. And from there, to get the command perfectly and have him know it really well, you can keep doing multiple repetitions like this. Asif, sit. Asif, down. Asif, sit. And eventually he won't need the clicker or the treat, and he will just do it on command. Asif, down. Asif, sit. Down. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. When teaching your dog to stay, you can use the sit and the down command to build on to finally teach your dog how to stay. I will show you how to do this now. The first thing you want to do is have your dog either sit or down. For this, I like to have him down. Asif, down. Click and treat. And then for stay, you want to have your dog, the goal is to have your dog stay in the same position for as long of a period as you want, depending on how far away you are. You still want your dog to be in that same position. To start out, you can start really close to him and have him just stay in that same position, and once you give it a few seconds or minutes, you can click and treat so that he knows he's doing a good job. And eventually you can keep coming backwards and having him stay. And if he keeps staying, you can click and treat. The end goal is to be able to leave the room or go far away and have him stay in that same position for as long as you want.
Yep.
For any of these commands I'm teaching you, there's going to be frustrating moments where they don't listen and try to do their own thing. When they do this, the first thing you want to do is tell them no. Saying no means they're doing it wrong, and they're going to learn this eventually, because every time they do it wrong, you're going to tell them no. So for instance, when I'm teaching him how to sit and stay and come, and he gets up, I would say no, and I'd tell him to down and keep going, like building off of that. For the come command, it's similar to how you set up the stay command. First, you would have your dog either sit or down, and you would use the 30-foot leash and slowly increase your distance when telling him to come. So first you would start out here, and then you could just keep moving back as far as you want. I'll show you an example of how to teach your dog to come. Ace it, come. Good boy. Ace it, down. Ace it, come. Good boy. Ace it, down. You can walk forward some. Ace it, come. Good boy. Good boy. Using the 30-foot leash for sit and come is super useful when teaching a new dog, so it allows you to have control from those far away distances. If you're not able to have a 30-foot leash, I would do it in a contained area like a dog park or your backyard. The next skill I'm going to teach you is how to walk your dog on a leash. There are 3 ways to accomplish this. The first is to wrap your leash behind your back and around your hip like this. When you're walking a dog on leash, you want him on the left side and you want him by your hip. When you're first starting out, your dog is going to go anywhere he wants. He doesn't know how to walk on a leash yet. But when you have him here, he really doesn't have much to go except by your hip. The second thing you can do is have some treats in your hand. And so when you're walking him, he knows that if he walks next to your hip, he will eventually get a treat, and he knows that walking by your hip is what he's supposed to do. The third way is to walk him alongside the fence. By walking alongside the fence, it gives him minimal options of where he can go. So I'll show you that. Come on. When you're walking along the fence, the only direction he can go is forward, backwards, or forwards or backwards. That's basically it. And so you can just keep walking him along the fence, and he knows which way he needs to go. And with this, you can use the treat too. Ace it, look, and give him treats. So if your dog is constantly pulling on the leash and just won't stop, a good thing to do is to just redirect his path. Most people want to just keep pulling and fighting and pulling him back so that they don't go ahead. But a better way to do this is to circle back around and just redirect his direction. I'll show you this. So if he's pulling, then you just want to turn around and just go the opposite way. And just keep turning until he knows that your way is the right way and he can't pick whichever way he wants to go. Ace it, pew! Good boy. With lots of consistency and dedication, you'll be able to have a dog that listens to you and knows that you're in control. Ace it, come. Ace it, sit. Ace it, come. Ace it, sit. Ace it, down. Down. Asif, down. Come. Asif, sit. Down. Stay. Okay, come here. Sit. Down. Good boy. Next, I'm going to talk about grooming. The first thing you want to do is you want to brush your dog. I would buy one of the defurminating brushes that gets the undercoat of the dog's fur. When you're brushing your dog, you want your dog to be happy and comfortable and like to be groomed. When grooming your dog, you want the brush to go in the direction that their fur is going so that you're not pulling against it, because that doesn't feel very good for the dog. When brushing, you want always to go in the same direction like I already said, and you want to get all areas of the dog. If you're brushing outside, it's okay to just throw it because it just goes with the direction of the wind. But if you don't want fur getting everywhere, you can have a plastic bag that you can put it in. But as you can see, my dog is not cowering and doesn't want to be brushed. He enjoys it, and you want your dog to enjoy it. You can stop brushing once you're brushing, there's not much hair that's coming out. And next we're gonna bathe him. The reason for brushing first is because you don't want hair to go everywhere while you're washing him. When you're washing him, the first thing you want to do is rinse him off. You want to get all areas of his fur wet before you put on the soap. And you can wash him everywhere, anywhere you want really, in a bathtub or outside like I'm doing. When washing your dog, you don't want to get water in their ears because it irritates it. Once your dog is fully wet, don't shake, you can add the soap. Oh. It doesn't really matter which kind of soap you get. If you have a dog with a lot of dandruff, you can buy dandruff shampoo, or really any kind you want. Anything that smells good. You want to rub the soap everywhere into their fur. Even their tail. Woo. Once you have all the soap on, then comes time for dematting their fur. You can use a brush like this, where the prongs are a little spaced out, so that it won't pull on each individual hair too much. You want to demat their fur so that they don't have any mats in it, and it's best to do when wet. With a dog with not very long hair, it's not as important to have to demat their fur, but if their hair is really long and gets tangled easy, it's important to demat their fur on a regular basis. And after you rinse them off, you dry them, and then you're done. There's 3 different ways you can dry your dog. 1 is to blow dry them, 2 is to let them air dry, and the 3rd is to towel dry. And Asif's favorite is to towel dry. He loves it and says this is what I always do. This concludes the end of my 10-minute video. I hope you guys learned at least a few things. Thank you for watching.